Roman Reigns returns last night on Monday Night Raw. Plus, we have an update on Seth Rollins' injury status, and some title matches for SummerSlam have been confirmed. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. One's up. Or pump that fist.
What a while, Tom.
What a mess. Roman Reigns made his triumphant return to WWE television last night on Raw. It's the first time we've seen him since WrestleMania this year, and he made quite the impact, didn't he?
Yes, there's a big gauntlet match to close last night's Raw. A man wins the gauntlet match. That man and his friend Jey Uso are in the ring. We'll talk about the winner later on, won't we, Tom? A little bit of a teaser, even though you already know because you have eyes and the internet. And yes, the goons, Seth Rollins' goons come down and they attack the man and Jey Uso, but who comes to the save? It is Roman Reigns. He lays Braun Breaker out with a spear.
Yeah, takes him right down. He also very impressively picks up Bronson Reed for a Samoan drop, and he gets a Superman punch for his efforts as well. Afterwards, we see Roman Reigns shaking the hands of Jey Uso, less inclined to get involved with the other person, but this seems to be leading to Roman Reigns' first match back since WrestleMania, and it looks like it's going to be Roman Reigns and Jey Uso taking on Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker.
Which probably might have been the plan already. This, because obviously you're thinking, the Seth Rollins injury, they've pressed the emergency Roman Reigns button, but the way it's sort of laid out, he's not going for the title, that's going elsewhere. It looks like this is sort of as it was going to be, maybe.
There were reports that did the rounds before SummerSlam that Roman Reigns was due back imminently, and there was talk about the new name they were going to give him, which was OTC1, which to me just, I don't like OTC1.
Roman Reigns loves mustard. Roman facts down the side of the screen.
I mean, that would be very funny if they made him version 1 of Roman Reigns. Now, OTC1 sounds like a code name for a plane. It does less so much a major wrestler. But original Tribal Chief 1, and it was in true WWE style as soon as he made his reappearance. Get your OTC1 merch right now.
So who's OTC2?
Oh.
It's like we're talking about Star Wars now.
Well, this is it. Now, this will be something that presumably whoever maybe down the line beats Roman Reigns and becomes the next tribal chief.
The owner of the Ula Fala.
That'll be Jacob Fatu, maybe?
Solo Sikoa. Taller Tonga.
Taller Tonga. So, yeah, it looks like we're getting a tag match with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and the Goons. But the Goons were the centre of attention last night due to Seth Rollins' status, which is currently shrouded in mystery because he got injured at Saturday night's main event, went for that springboard moonsault, landed on his foot quite badly, and we went to a very quick finish, which saw LA Knight pick up the dub over Seth Rollins. So what is to become of Seth Rollins? There was talk of him backstage at Evolution in a cast with crutches. Triple H said that it's not looking good, but they won't know anything until the MRI results come back. So how did Paul Heyman address it on Raw?
He said it's too soon to really tell what's going to happen. However, he's got the Money in the Bank briefcase to cash in until next June, so it's irrelevant until that deadline of June when he can cash it in is becoming closer.
So they're going to basically carry on for the time being. What's interesting about this is that, because there has been some speculation about whether or not this is a legitimate injury. You guys talked about it yesterday.
Well, it feels like everyone says it's legit, but then Meltzer was like, I know one guy who says it might not be.
A little pinch of salt on that bad boy, I think. So it's looking like it is, but the convenience of it, right, in the blue sky in all of this is the nature of the Money in the Bank cash-in is a surprise moment that can come out of nowhere. So I guess that if you are just taking Seth off for an amount of time, you don't necessarily need to really reveal when he's coming back. You can put out some lies to people like us as to when he's coming back. So when he does turn up and cash in that briefcase and become world champion, we're all aghast and agog.
But you're forgetting how the wrestling works, Tom. We need to see them try and cash in 100 times to really understand how the cash-in actually works. So they would never do that, just have him go away for 6 months, let's say, and then have him come back and cash in straight away. That's not how it happens.
That's not how it happens. You need to have him hold the briefcase during every title match, which is really why Paul Heyman's just going to keep it. Yeah. Paul Heyman's going to threaten to cash in. What if Paul Heyman cashed it in?
I hope he does.
That'd be wonderful. That would be wonderful. We are en route to SummerSlam. We talked about it a little bit at the very beginning, but yeah, by virtue of winning that gauntlet match on last night's Raw, CM Punk is off to the big show.
His first ever one-on-one match versus Gunther. I don't like his chances.
I don't either. He's going to lose 2 title matches from 2 different brands on the bounce.
What a loser. Nah, it feels like too soon for Gunner. He just got the thing back. That's my immediate thoughts on this match anyway. What about yours, Tom?
It does feel too soon, and I do feel like as well it would be perfect foil for Seth Rollins to return and ruin CM Punk's night. Whether or not that was the original plan, I don't know, but it certainly feels like maybe that would have been a way to have got the briefcase used at SummerSlam to create that moment, but it depends on how well Seth Rollins is, and I think that's going to be a tantalising question mark over our heads for the next few months, possibly.
It is an interesting one, because if there's one body part you need well to do a stomp, which is what you would assume Rollins would use to do on CM Punk to cost him the title match, it is a knee.
Yeah, you need that bit. It's somewhat crucial. So Punk versus Gunther, part of a 2-night SummerSlam next month. Also, the women's world titles on the line.
Yeah, Naomi comes out on Raw last night. She's cutting a promo. You didn't see me coming. All the fans like, you deserve it. She's like, no, you didn't feel the glow, but you feel me now, bitches. Whoa! Rhea Ripley comes out and says, you're a bitch. Io Sky comes out, you're a bitch as well. Adam Pearce comes out and then makes a triple threat for SummerSlam.
That's it. I know. That's exactly how it happened. I thought the cash-in, like you guys spoke about it in the news yesterday, I thought the cash-in was magnificent.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. It was it genuinely caught us off guard a little bit, which I thought was the whole point of a cash-in, isn't it? You know, we know Triple H doesn't necessarily like the Money in the Bank briefcases, so I think he's glad to have at least one down.
I think we only saw her try to cash the thing in about 12 times, which isn't too bad for a WWE cash-in.
That is all right for a cash-in. Also, by virtue of defeating Bayley in a 2 out of 3 falls match last night on Raw, Lyra Valkyria, pal, has one more crack at Becky Lynch. She's facing her for the Women's Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. We saw the Man and Bird Lady have a little showdown post-match as well to set it up.
The man's colour scheme was interesting. Obviously, the Becky Hogan thing's been taken off on social media. Now she's leaning into it. She had the red and yellow on. Up the Lynch. I like that sort of Kavorka.
She was in red and yellow, wasn't she? I think this might be an element of the story that we see play out in the weeks leading up to SummerSlam as well. Do we see Lyra Valkyria win the belt here?
100%.
Yeah, that feels right.
Been made a star thanks to the initial feud between herself and Becky. Bayley's obviously added that as well, but now I think just having her have a proper rubber-stamped victory over Becky Lynch at SummerSlam is the way to go.
I think it's good for the women's IC title to have had like Becky Lynch in the mix there and say like, you know, to have her have a title reign there. It's made the women's IC title prominent, which was a big issue with Lyra's first reign, where it just felt very also-ran, and now it's been once again put in the picture. Hopefully from here on in, some of the booking and the creative of the women's IC title beyond SummerSlam keeps it there as well. Also confirmed for SummerSlam, as we already know, the women's title on the line. Tiffany Stratton faces Jade Cargill.
It's everyone's favourite match. It's Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul.
Jelly Roll is going to be guest hosting Jimmy Kimmel on Wednesday with Randy Orton as a guest host. I wonder if we'll get shenanigans. And the main event for that with the WWE title, John Cena defending against Cody Rhodes. Feels like, we'll do predictions and stuff proper in the coming weeks, but that feels like the end of the road for John.
It does, yeah. The redemption arc will start from here on out. I reckon he gets beaten so bad he realises that being an arsehole is not the way to go, so he might as well be a nice guy.
I'll tell you who isn't an arsehole. You for watching this and watching us across what has been a very busy weekend of wrestling. So thank you very much for your continued support. What happened at All In and what happened at Evolution waiting for you right now. Some WTF moments coming down the pipe.
3 on the Patreon this week. WTF for Saturday's main event is now live. It went live yesterday. All In's WTF moments will be live later today, and Evolutions will hopefully be live tomorrow. But bloody hell, All In's an 8-hour show from start to finish.
That's a perfectly reasonable amount of wrestling.
I think it overtook WrestleMania 35 is the longest ever show.
It is the longest wrestling pay-per-view of all time until we get the Ken Dodd Classic in 2027.
Ken Dodd in 2027? He was
infamous for doing long... Well, obviously, he's about 6 feet from that comeback, but if you know, you know. And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.